Here's the craft with me video that I talked about at the beginning. So hopefully I won't run into the same problems that prevented me from having a video go up this week on Tuesday, a things video. I just had a lot of trouble uploading, so I wasn't able to get anything up for you this week. And I'm going to try to remedy that, I think, with this shorter craft with me video. I'm only going to show a few projects, and let's just jump right into it. And I'll show you what I have. First, I have separated the things into these little, they don't have these anymore at my local Dollar Tree, but these little they're hard felt containers, and they're perfect for putting little pieces together to collect the supplies that I'm going to use for various projects. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or so projects here. A couple of things I'm just going to tell you about, and some that I will just craft right here on video and then offer up for sale. First of all, I want to show this one. Well, actually first I'm going to show you this. This is a very interesting ring, and the leaf is facing this way, or I can turn it around, of course, to face the other way, but it kind of pokes into my hand right there. So it's probably the other way around is the better way to wear it. But this item is actually a shoe clip, and I will offer it up. There'll be a price on the screen for this, and it's very pretty with detailed little veins and everything. Oh, I cut myself today on a grocery trip. But this is very detailed with pretty veins. It's gold tone and no loss of the tone. And well, this is a shoe clip, or maybe it's a scarf clip, but that's the beauty of it. And the reason I'm even talking about it is that I like to find other ways to use things besides their intended use. This is probably a scarf clip, but it can be used as a shoe clip, of course, the same way you would do with any other. Just slip it on the front of your shoe and clip it down. You can clip it onto a headband, or you can clip it onto, if you don't mind wearing big showy rings, and some people actually enjoy that, you can wear it as a ring. So that's what I'm doing with this one, and there will be a price on the screen for it. This one is for sale, and there is not a mate to it. So now I'm going to jump in with these projects. First, here's one I'm going to bring to you maybe in this video, but definitely later. This is a vintage acrylic or plastic crystal, or not crystal actually, but just rhinestone, a little plastic rhinestone necklace, and it's vintage. It just has Korea right there on the hang tag, but there's a lot of grime back behind these. I cleaned it in the Magnasonic cleaner, and there's a lot of grime back behind all of those stones. So I'm going to pull those out and replace them actually with better quality stones. I'll replace them with glass, or I'll just see what I can find. But these stones that are in there now are kind of damaged, and on the back I think they've got a bunch of scratching on the back and definitely on the top. And I think this would do with an upgrade. So I'm going to do that later this week if I am not able to get to it in this video. And then the last thing I'm going to just talk about before I actually start crafting is this. This is a pendant that came, let me move this out of the way for a minute. It came in a craft lot, and I thought it would make a really neat purse chain. Actually, I have finished it, so I take that back. This one is done, and you're not going to see it get crafted here on this video, but there'll be a price on the screen for it. This has 2 clips because it'll go on the 2 pieces of hardware, or if you have narrow enough handles on your bag, it can go around the handles. But this is a charm necklace, I guess, for your purse. These angel wings are really pretty with the multicolored AB coated rhinestones. It's about 2.5, well, no, not 2.5, about 2 inches long. And I thought this would be really neat to hang little charms. If you have your own charms that already have lobster clasps on them, you can hang those, around the chain, or hang it down right here. Since it's angel wings, You could maybe get charms that remind you of someone. Let it be a memorial type chain, a little memory chain to help you remember someone. And I just thought that was a neat idea. This chain came from a chain belt, so it's kind of heavy. And it's not super, super heavy, but it's heavier than it looks, in my opinion. But it's stainless, I believe. I don't think it's silver tone or coated or anything like that. I believe it's stainless. And then this is silver tone with the AB coated rhinestones and all the pretty detail. And it's unmarked. And then I just put the 2 clips on it so it can hang like that and be, I guess, like a little charm necklace for your purse. It can go just like it is, or you can hang charms on it. If you're interested in this and you have things that you might want to turn into charms, just contact me and we'll talk about how I can maybe create charms for you, and I'll let you know how much that'll cost. But this is the first item, and although you didn't get to watch me craft it here, I just wanted to tell you about it. So there it is, and there will be a price on the screen, and that is just for this item. If you're interested in me making some charms for you to go on it, just contact me and we'll work all of that out by email. Next, this came in, well, not this. This came a while back, and I don't remember actually the lot that I got that chain in. But this is a Lilly Pulitzer earring that did not have a mate to it. It came in that special assignment box that I got from Pat Garza. And it's very pretty. It's heavy. It looks new. There's hardly any little surface scratching at all. There is a little bit, but not very much. By the back is really where you can tell whether an earring has been worn, and there's nothing that indicates that that's been worn. And it just looks bright and shiny and new, and it doesn't have a mate. So I'm going to turn this into a pendant, and it needed just the right type of chain. You know, because it's a chunkier type necklace, it would look kind of strange on a more delicate chain. So I thought this big, wide mesh chain would be a great match for it. And the post, I'm going to have to figure out if I want this post to be a bail from the back or if I want to hang it from jump rings. I thought about hanging it from jump rings so that it would look sort of like this, and then have another ring connecting it to the chain. I don't think the post it'll curve all the way around, I think, to hold it in place, but I think it would look awkward just because there wouldn't be room for any movement back and forth. And then if the chain spun around, you know, the necklace or the pendant would kind of sit off center. So I think putting the rings on it will really be the way to go with this one. So the story with this necklace, again, I don't recall where it came from. It came in a craft lot maybe a long time ago. I really don't remember it. I just found it when I was rooting around through my supplies for something that would be chunky enough to look right with this as a pendant. And this is what I came across. The gold tones are not identical, but I think they're close enough that it'll look nice together. So what I'm going to do is remove the broken one. This was a necklace that was like layered like this. You can't see the whole thing on this screen. And then part of it's broken. So I'm going to take off the one that's broken, and then that will leave us with just this. Just pretend that's gone. And that'll leave us with this necklace right here, and then with this as a pendant on it. So I'm going to get started taking this off, the broken part of the necklace, and we will turn this into a pendant and then put it all together. Okay, first, I'm going to take my flat nose pliers and open up the rings that hold the broken part to the closure. Let's see how that's attached. Right here, I can just open up this little ring and then slide that right off. Oh, the pliers slipped off. Okay, and then I will, let's see, I don't need this ring right now, so I'm going to leave it open, so that way I don't have to open it up again later if I end up needing it. So part one of the broken necklace is gone. And let's go around to the other side and get the other broken part. And let's see, yeah, I just need to locate where it's attached and then find the opening of the ring, which is right, you can barely see it, but there it is. Let's see if I can do this one in this tiny space in my light box without making the pliers fly off again. There we go. And again, saving that ring and leaving it open. So the broken parts of the necklace are gone. I'll get those out of my way. And now, let's see, will this ring be big enough to fit around? I need it to fit around not just the chain, but to have enough room so that when I hang the pendant on it, it won't be too snug of a fit, and there will be enough room for the pendant to have some movement. It's kind of hard to measure this with the ring being open. There we go. So it looks like there will be room for this smaller one. So then maybe I can use one of these that came off the broken part of the necklace as the ring for the pendant. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and close this ring around the chain. That Lilly Pulitzer earring is so pretty, and it's so big and chunky and substantial. And for it to be new and not have a mate, it would have just been a shame to just let that go to waste. This is a really, speaking of big and chunky, this is a big, this is a big chunky ring, and it's not wanting to close, at least not in with the pressure I can give it in this little light box. Let me come off camera and close that up, and I'll be right back. Okay, it is closed, and this will be the ring that holds the pendant in, or just holds the pendant suspended from the chain. So now I'm going to take the post and bend it around into a loop, and then I'll put another ring around that loop. And I'm wondering actually if that's going to work. I might need this bigger ring for that. I think I will, because the smaller ring is not going to come up high enough for there to be good movement. Let's see, I can't just hang it directly onto this loop because this loop is facing this direction and the ring is going to be facing that same direction. So I need something going this way to suspend it from. So let's see what I can do. I'm going to try it with this bigger one and just see what happens. But first I've got to make the loop on the back of the earring by bending this post around. I can't work it too much because handling the, working around this post too much will actually end up breaking it off, and I don't want to do that. I'm going to come off camera and do that so I can see better. I'll be right back. So I've got that post bent around, and I'm going to try this smaller ring first to see if I can have a lower profile than I would get with this bigger ring. So there it is. So the ring that's already around the chain, I'm going to put that inside this loop with this smaller ring and then close it up and see how it works, or see how it looks, I should say. This light box is really small. I think it was about 12 inches, like a cubic 12 inches in here. So it's a small space to fit my hands into to do this crafting. So that's what we have. Wait a minute, is that looped the wrong way? Something's not looking right here. Okay, no, it's right. There we go. So here it is. Now the golds are not all identical with each other, but I don't think that'll really matter. This is now a gorgeous little one-of-a-kind necklace. It's got the signature on the back there, the Lilly Pulitzer branding on the back of just the pendant. And you know something I didn't check. Uh-oh, I've got it on backwards. And how can you have a necklace backwards? Well, usually the clasp goes on the right. So the clasp should be on the right when the pendant is facing away from you, so that when you're putting it on, you're working the clasp with your right hand. So now I have to open up this little ring, flip it around, and put it back on there the right way. So I will be right back. Okay, here we are. Now it is facing the right direction. Let me get these pliers out of the way so I can show you what it looks like. And there it is. Look how cute. I love that. This nice chunky now pendant that used to be an earring. This bright clear glass, I think, rhinestone there. This acrylic faux, maybe Larimar, all with gold tone, and the two pretty tassels with rope chains hanging out. And it is a gold tone mesh chain that it all suspends from. This necklace, I don't have my tape measure over here with me. I should have been prepared with that. Let's see, there is a 3-inch extender, and the necklace is, I don't know, it looks like maybe about a 9 or 10-inch drop. I'm going to go get my tape measure. I'll be right back. Okay. It has a 9-inch drop, 3-inch extender, and the pendant is about 3.5 inches long. Very, very pretty. There will be a price on the screen for this one. And if you're interested in buying anything at all from this video, remember to just contact me, skeeterjonesthings@gmail.com. We will talk about it there. Next, this is just something I want to show you. I can't craft this one on screen because I don't have what I need. If you remember in one of my videos a while back, it's when I got the Fire Mountain gems, I think. I was looking for just the right bead for a certain project. This is that project. This is a necklace that I got more than a year ago in a craft lot, and I couldn't figure out what this little pendant was on it. I thought it was like an odd type of fringe maybe, but I couldn't really tell. But then the more I looked closely at it, it's a net, so to speak, or a cage, sort of, the way this is put together. And I need a large marble type thing, I guess, to go in there. And it just is a really neat effect. If you can tell, like this expands out to hold a rather large bead. And I had a bead that would fit in there, but it was a drilled bead and it just didn't look right to have the holes showing in the bead. So I need a solid marble or something like that. So I can't wait to find just the right thing for that project. I just wanted to show it to you. Okay, next. There are two projects in here. We'll do the easiest one first, or the simplest one first. This is a pair of earrings that I got in a craft lot. One looks perfectly fine, and the other one is missing a little acrylic faux pearl, but the little missing faux pearl is right there. It has some glue on the back, so I'm going to remove that first. It's already started to come up right there, so I'm going to just finish peeling that off. And it's coming off rather easily, or at least more easily than I thought it would. And there we go, it's gone. One little piece still left there. So now I will put a dab of glue, or a few dabs of glue, around the edges of this setting. Here we go. And then I'll place the stone in. This is just a really quick repair. And when I'm doing things like this with glue, I like to use as little glue as possible. I want to use, of course, enough that will do the job, but I don't want to use so much that it's going to kind of squeeze out around the edges of the stone. Because even though I can clean that up, it's just not going to look as good as if it didn't squeeze out there in the first place. So here are these gorgeous faux pearl earrings. They have acrylic faux pearls. They are about 2 inches long and about just under an inch across at this widest point here. They look new. Well, no, they don't either. Very lightly worn. I'll put new backs. I'll get rid of those and put new backs on them. And they dangle from the post. And there is the back. The gold tone looks great. That's why I thought that they weren't worn. Why I thought they were new. It's because this gold tone looks so great. But those backs definitely have been worn. But there they are. And again, price on the screen. And just contact me if you're interested in those. Next, right here. Let's see, I've got some crafting to do and another one I'm going to tell you about. So I'll try to alternate those. So this is what I was going to do here. This is an earring that did not have a mate, and it's a very large earring, but it is big enough that it can be a nice bracelet. I don't know what that is. It just looks like I've been through the ringer. All of these rhinestones look great. There's no dead stones. They're all very sparkly and pretty. And then there's the post, which a lot of times when I'm making something, making a ring or an earring out of a hoop, or making a ring or a bracelet or anything out of a hoop earring, I will just get rid of the post or the clip or whatever it has and then use a metal file to file that down. But I had this necklace, which also has pretty bright rhinestones on it, but the chain has wear that it didn't clean up with polish or anything, and it doesn't have a clasp, which if the chain was nicer, I would just put a clasp on there. The chain is good up to a point, so I thought maybe why not make sort of a little unique charm bracelet out of that. So that's what we're going to do, and I'll show you my plan. I'm going to remove the chain from about here up. So there's this much chain, and it looks like that. This is going to be turned into a little loop, and then I'll use a jump ring to hang this from the little loop right there, and it'll be a little unique type of charm bracelet. There is here it is right here, a nice silver tone jump ring just waiting to be used right here. So I'm going to open that up and reserve this silver toned jump ring. And then I'm going to remove the chain from this point up from this little heart charm. And I need my other clippers for that. Okay, so from this point up, I'm just going to snip that off. I'm not trying to save any of this chain other than what I'm leaving attached to the charm. So that's why I didn't open the rings up to take that off. All of this is not able to be used, so that is all going to have to be thrown away. I hate to throw away any chain, but when it's not usable, it's just not usable. Let me get these little bits. Here's my workspace. And then I'm going to take this ring that I reserved, and there we go. Close up the ends of the chain that I left. Okay, my pliers got hung on the outside of my light box. It really is a challenge to work inside this box because I've got to make sure I'm staying within the frame of the camera, and then make sure the piece is getting closed up the way I want it to. It just presents some challenges. It closed, but it didn't close completely the way I wanted it to. Let me scoot you over there. So I wanted it to close flush, like each end flush with the other, and it's sort of not, if you can see right there. So I'm going to try to close that gap and make those two ends meet up. Well, it's being a little stubborn. Okay, maybe this will do the trick. I'll just get it from both sides again. There. Much better. So now this is ready and waiting. I'm going to close up this loop. Now I don't know if I need to close it this way or this way. Let's see. My loop on the top of my charm will be oriented like this. So I'm thinking let's see. Yeah, I'm thinking looping it around this way will be the way to go with that. So I'm just going to roll that around. I didn't think about it, or I wouldn't have closed up that ring that I had to struggle with to get it closed because I'm going to have to open it right back up to hang it on this. I want to loop that all the way around so that there's no chance of the ring from the charm sliding off. And also I don't want there to be an end to this post that can poke or catch on clothes or anything like that. These pliers got caught on my little ring, or I should say my big ring, my big shoe clip or scarf clip ring. There we go. Let's see, it's kind of hard to get this the way I want it, again, in this tiny space, so I will be right back. There we go, just the way I wanted it. And now I'll need to open this up again and then hang it from I think I might need another ring after all, because it may have been better to bend that the other direction, but again, you don't want to work a post too much because too much bending back and forth can weaken it. Let's see what to do. I think I might try just bending that down. Nope, I'm going to get another ring. And here we go. There we go. I want to make sure that's facing the right direction so that it hangs this way. Okay. And then close it up. I'm getting lots of practice working in this small space, so maybe I'll become more graceful at it with all the practice I'm getting. And there we are. So there is our unique charm bracelet. And there it is. It's a little adjustable because it's this large hoop, and you can just, make it smaller as you need. But what a unique look. A rhinestone bangle with this pretty heart charm. I love that. That's just so cute. I wasn't really sure what to do with this earring when I found it, but then it hit me that it was big enough to be a bracelet, and then I saw this little heart charm and the bad chain that it was on, and so that's a match made in crafting heaven. Cute. I really, really like that. Okay, my wrist is a 7, by the way, and it fits me perfectly at the size where it is now, and you do have a bit of adjustability with it. But there we go. Again, contact me if you're interested. That's such a cute one. Okay, this one, I promised you next, I'll just show you another one I'm working on. This, I wish I had done a cleanup with me because this is brass, and it was very tarnished and oxidized and dirty, so I cleaned it and then I polished it, and this is a genuine pearl. So I couldn't put this in the Magnasonic cleaner because you're not supposed to put pearls in there, but I actually could have taken the pearl off and then put just this little ring in there. This was an earring, by the way, and the earring hook hung, up here, and it was like that with the hook, on this top end. And so I took the hook off because it didn't have a mate, Or it did have a mate actually, but the pearl was missing on the mate. So I decided to make this into a pendant, and I have this very pretty J.Crew chain that also needed cleaning and polishing, but there's not enough of it here to make a necklace. And this is my vision for that, but I need some more chain. So as soon as I find some more chain that will look nice with it, that can make this a little longer, maybe I don't think I'll do a layered thing. I think I'll just do 2 different chains. Like do a little bit of brass chain right here that's different, and then have this on it. But that's my vision for this little earring. And this was black also, this J.Crew chain was. And this was black, the brass that's on the earring here. And of course this is black, this is brass also, right here on this chain. So hopefully I'll be bringing you that in another Craft With Me video sometime in the near future. Let's see now, here is this one. This came, I think, in a craft lot that I got from Maryland at Shady & Y. I already had this, and I can't remember where I got this from, but it looks like they were just made to go together. But these earrings, the little cabochon thing was missing, but it was in the package, so I'm going to glue that on. But the thing about these earrings is they are convertible. You can wear them just as little clip-on buttons, or you can put this little ring on there and wear them like these little cluster hoops. And they just go so well with this other necklace that I just had lying around, which is all metal. Even these little cabochons are metal. These are acrylic on here, but the ones on the necklace are metal, but they still look like they were made to go together. So this is going to be a set. The necklace has a missing cabochon somewhere. There it is. So what I'm going to do is take out the one that's missing, take out the one directly across from it, so everything will be still nice and symmetrical, and it'll still be plenty long enough to be a nice necklace. So I'm going to take off this setting and this one, and then reattach the chain to these two, and then I'm going to glue this cabochon back onto here, and then I'll offer all of that up as a set. So the easiest job first will be to, which one's, there it is. The easiest job first will be to glue this little cabochon back on, and I don't want any glue mistakes to stick this to anything, so I'm going to take it off while I do this gluing. There's the previous glue. You always want to take off the old glue when you're gluing something, if you're able to. Sometimes the old glue can't be removed without damaging the piece. But this is coming off rather easily, I guess. It's not too hard to get it off. It looks like they used hot glue to put this together. In my experience, hot glue will hold things together temporarily. And by temporarily, I mean, kind of long term, but not for a really long time. I've never had jewelry be hot glued and then it stay together for a very long time. Jewelry adhesives are best, or Fire Mountain Gems has the same glue, along with other jewelry adhesives as well. The kind of adhesive you're using really just depends on the project you're doing. And again, I'm putting just a little glue because I don't want it to squeeze out around the edges. There we go. that in place and press it down. And it looks like there's no glue squeezing out around the edges. There's a little bit of that previous hot glue right there, but it's on the bottom and it's not really visible, and I couldn't get that off. I was afraid I would scratch it up if I tried any more to get that off. But there it is. We'll just let that sit until that glue hardens. And then now on to the necklace. This is going to be a pretty simple fix. So I'm going to open the ring that holds the empty setting. I've got to find the end of that ring so I can open it. There we go. I'm having trouble making that chain come off. There we go. And I'll save this ring for another project. And I'll save this setting for another project too. This is silver tone. Now I'm going to take off the old setting and reattach the chain. Super simple. If you have just some basic tools, you can get more life out of your jewelry just by, doing a few little things here and there to keep them wearable longer. Okay, so now that one's gone. And now to even it up, you see, here we go. It all matches except for this side now has one extra setting on it. There's 2 on this side. There's 2 in the middle, 2 on this side, and now 3 on this side. So even though there's nothing wrong with this one, I'm going to be taking it off just to keep everything nice and even. So it'll be the same thing. I'm going to open up this ring. And then once I get this setting off, I'm going to save it for another project. And I'll save that ring also for some other future project. Right there. I can't find the end of this ring. Am I just not seeing it? There it is. Okay, now open that right up. Now I'll take off the setting. And then reattach the chain on this side. And as soon as I close the ring back up, then this project is done. There we go. All done. And the matching earrings are right here. Again, this didn't come as a set. These are plastic. The necklace is metal. This is going to sit for a while, again, before I attempt to open the clip. I just don't want to put any pressure on it until the glue has had plenty of opportunity to set and cure. But here's basically the effect. The glue is dry, but it's just not cured and set, which will give it the strongest bond. But there we are. And there's a price for the set that'll be on the screen. Let's get those leftovers out of the way. There we go, and just contact me if you're interested in that. These are about 1.5 inches long. And again, they are convertible. You can wear them like you see them there, or you can wear just a little button clip. And I'll reattach that little bead that just dropped off. I'll have to find the empty ring on it. Oh, there it is right there. So let me reattach that bead, and then we will give you the information. Oops, I'm gonna have to find the ring again. Well, wouldn't you know, I found it and then dropped the thing before I could get the bead reattached. There it is. Is it? That one already has one on it. Let me see if I can find where that goes. I found it. It was hard to find because I realized that all of these little rings, if you can see how it's constructed, there are these tiny rings around this big central ring, and each one of the tiny rings has 2 beads on it. So I had to find the one that only had 1 bead so I would know where this little bead belonged. And there we go. So I'll close that right up. Let's see, we need a little tighter closure on that. There. Just like it never happened. Okay, and now the information on the necklace. It has a drop. Let's see, it's hooked to the end of the extender right now. So without the extender, the drop is about 7.5 inches. Fully extended, the drop is 8.5 inches. And when I'm talking about the drop, I mean from the clasp to the top right here. This gives an extra about 2.25 inches right here of length on this. I'll call it a pendant, but this longer part right here in the front. And then now there will be a price for the set, not counting the leftovers. A price for this set will be on the screen, and a number. And whenever you contact me, if you're interested in ordering any of these, just give me the number and like a little description, like, you know, the silver tone set. Just give me the number and a little description, and that's it. That's all you need to give me when you contact me at skeeterjonesthings@gmail.com. Okay, next item is right here. This is from a J.Crew necklace that I got a while back. I think from Lindsay Clark is where I got that one. And some of these pieces have gone into purse charms that have sold on eBay for me. And there's one that I have right now offered up in my things video from last week. Or depending on when you're seeing this, maybe a couple of weeks ago. So I'm going to use one of these little pendants on here. This is a loft necklace that came in the lot from Pat Garza. And there was this strap that attached right here. And of course all the way over to right here on this side. You can see the other ring for it right there. And it had a really rough looking denim little choker attached right there. So I removed that, and I'm thinking I will attach this chain from here to here. I'll have to take this clasp off of it, but attach it from here to here and make a layered necklace with this little pendant right here in the middle, and then these rhinestones on that layer. And that will be the basic effect, but with only one of these pendants instead of both. So it'll be kind of like that. So that's what we're looking at with this one. And it's looking like, actually, I'm going to need to polish this a little bit, which will be easier to do before, you know, there's some tone loss on this now that I'm looking at it. Yeah, we're gonna have to put this project aside because I don't want to use chain that has tone loss. I'm still gonna make the same design that I just showed you, but with different chain. I'm gonna have to find some other chain. So sorry about that one. That one's a no-go for now. But I have this. This came in a craft lot from Maryland at Shady NY. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous J.Crew necklace. J.Crew necklaces are my favorite things to work with. Oh, I still have these leftovers from the last thing. Get those out of the way. But yeah, J.Crew necklaces are my favorites to work with because there are so many beautiful elements in a J.Crew statement necklace. So let's see, we've got a stone that can be reattached right here. And then we have this. Let's see what this was intended to look like and what happened. Okay, I can see a little bit of what happened. I have a broken connection right there. Let's get this all turned around and laid out and see if we can figure out what was originally going on with this necklace. Let's see. Maybe since that one is there, there was one on this side. And there's a broken connection right there too. So it probably originally went something like this. Oh, and there's a ring here that probably connected there. So something like this is probably what it looked like originally. So let's see, we can keep this as long as I do a good job putting that stone back in place. I don't want to make it look like a dead stone, which sometimes gluing a stone back in can do that. So I will just redesign this. I'm going to keep it as a necklace that'll look very similar to the way it looks now. What kind of redesign am I going to do? I'm going to have to lose this one because of that broken end on it. And I won't be able to use this one because it has a broken connection. So I need to remove this. And let's see. I'm going to go ahead and take that off, and I'm going to take off the one that matches it on the other side. I'm going to take off both of those, and that way I'll have a clearer idea of what I'm going to ultimately end up doing with this. And this might actually be my last project for this video, just because, like I said, I've been having lots of trouble uploading, and that's why I didn't have a things video this week. So I want to keep this video short in case maybe the length of the video is what caused all the problem when I tried to upload last time. These are some thick rings, so hopefully I'll be able to get these opened up without any trouble. Well, I got it opened, but not wide enough to let that little element off. I'll have to do it again. Okay. There we go. It'll come off now. Please come off. Please come off. There we go. Okay, so that one is not usable for jewelry, at least because I don't know how to solder, so I can't use that. And I can still use that ring though. Let's see, now I do need to take off this piece because it was the one that's directly across from the one I just removed, and I want to keep things nice and symmetrical. So let me disconnect that one, and then I will be able to reuse that one because there's nothing wrong with it. I'm only taking it off to keep things nice and even. And this larger one here is going to stay on the finished product, I think. So here's the one that I'm actually removing. There we go. Hopefully, again, the last one opened without too much trouble. And this one did too. Good. Right, and I'll save that ring. And I'll definitely be able to reuse this. I'm going to go ahead and completely take away the ones that I won't be able to reuse. All right, now let me see where I stand with everything. All right, it's like, oh, okay, wait a minute. What? I completely lost track of everything. Oh, there we go, there we go. Okay, so everything's lining up on the sides. I'm thinking I might take all of these out and just let that be the necklace. Let's see. Or actually I can move this one up and have something like that. I think that's what I'll do. So I'm going to take this part off. See, it has these three little connectors. So I'm going to take that off. And the one that matches it on this side with the three connectors, I'm going to take that off. And then this little drop that goes like this little piece right here, which is actually made up of two pieces, but this drop I'm going to put right in the middle after I take these, where was it, these three, or these two right here off. Then put this in their place. If you can sort of visualize that is the new design. So let's get to work. Let me take off of these. Lots of reusable elements that I can use on other projects, which is always a good thing. I love when I have little odds and ends J.Crew pieces. I'm able to make the nicest things, I think, when I'm using J.Crew bits. Okay, reusable. And a reusable ring. Let's see, here's the one we're taking out on this side. Is it? Yeah, the one with the three. With the three connections on it. I have a container that has nothing in it but J.Crew jump rings because they're so thick and sturdy. I can't get rings of that sort, or at least I haven't been able to find rings of that sort in any of the places where I get supplies from. So sometimes I'll come across a craft J.Crew necklace that really the only thing I can salvage off of it is the clasp and the jump rings. And I gladly take those. Okay. Is that open wide enough to let this little piece come off? That one was stubborn to open. Yay, okay. So now that one's off, and then there's that ring. And here's where we stand now, and then here's the piece that had been in the center. Is everything lining up? So if I did, oh, you know what? This was the one I was taking off. Okay. I messed up somewhere along the way, but that's the thing about designing these things. It can change as you go, and it's all good. It all works out. This one's going to be a very fancy schmancy necklace because these rhinestones are so sparkly. And the brass is still really nice and pretty. And if it's not, if you ever come across brass that is not nice, that it's past its prime, just polish it. Okay, let's see how everything lines up. That matches, that matches, that matches. Okay, so then I can connect everything together like this. And I think that will be gorgeous. So I have a choice. I can either attempt gluing this stone in place right there, or since I have one of these left that looks just like it, I can just take that one out and use this one and not have to glue anything. What should I do? I think I'll just take this one off and use the one that I don't have to glue. I like to use my flat nose ones to hold in place, and then take my needle nose ones to do the turning. So use a twisting motion to open these up. It just helps it close better. You may have heard me say that on a prior video. That's my text tone going off on my other phone. Okay, so here we are. Just like that. That's what the finished product should look about like. I don't know, I kind of just really like having another big one in the middle right there. But I also like that. I think that's what we're gonna get. Oh, wait a minute, this is off center. Is that going to bother me? I think this is the way I originally had it planned anyway. I think it is. So is that what we do? I think that's what I'm going to do right there. So I'll need 2 rings for 1, 2, and I'll need a third one for right there. And I think it's all over but the shouting, as they say. I'm not going to shout though. I have to be very careful the way these are facing when I connect them, or I'll have one of these elements facing the wrong direction. Let's close this up. Well, it's not wanting to do that very easily. There we go. And now there and there, and then we'll be finished. Okay, I'm not meaning to go silent. I just start thinking to myself rather than talking out loud. There we go. These are hard to close, which is good because, oh, there's already one there, so I don't need this one. Which is good because if they're hard to close, then they're also going to be very hard to open. And that's one reason I like working with J.Crew things, because whatever I make out of it is going to hold up. Okay, there we go, and we'll close this up. I'll check the time when I'm finished right here and then see if maybe I have time to make some matching earrings with those pieces that I took off. This is not wanting to close. There we go. Okay, and there it is. So from necklace with broken pieces and a missing rhinestone to an entirely new design with everything there and everything beautiful. Let me give you the stats on this. And it has a, let's see, it's a short one without the extender. It's about a 6-inch drop. But let's see, let's put it together with the extender all the way at the end. And that is a 7 1/4 inch drop. And if you like this, but that length will not work for you, let me know, and I can extend that a little bit more. I can maybe make the chain a little longer or make the extender a little bit longer. Okay, I went off camera for a minute and tried to figure out something I could do to make matching earrings, and I didn't get any really great ideas off the top of my head, but I'll definitely be making something with these. I'm going to go ahead and glue the stone into this one so that when the time comes to make something, it will be ready to go. I have to be very careful with gluing stones because it's very easy for them to start looking like a dead stone once glue gets on the back of a rhinestone. Some of them work very well and some of them do not. And you don't really know what you're gonna have until you're done with it. And it looks like I'm out of glue, or either it's clogged. Let me check that out. So I got the glue to come out and I glued it in, and you can see it's just not as sparkly now. And that's because it was just one of those that's going to not do well with glue. So this I will still save. I'll pop that stone out and see what else I can do with it. So this one's not a lost cause yet. We'll see what we can do with it at another time. But that's it for this craft with me. Again, there will be a price on the screen for this necklace and a number on the screen, and to order you just tell me the number and a brief description of the item, like rhinestone brass J.Crew necklace, and the number of the item, and then that is how we will take care of that. So thank you so much for joining me and watching me upcycle all of these little pieces. Let me know which was your favorite, and I think we got some really nice ones. Love this Lilly Pulitzer single earring pendant. Love this little rhinestone earring that is now a bangle or cuff with a charm on it. This little purse charm, or big purse charm with 2 clips. Remember, because it clips on each side of your bag. And you can hang charms on it. Let's see, and then the silver tone set right here. So thank you so much for joining me while I did all this crafting. I really appreciate any amount of time that you spend with me, and I really am thankful to all of my viewers and subscribers. So if you did enjoy this content, ask that you would click the thumbs up, that you would subscribe if you haven't already, share it with someone else that you think might also enjoy it, and leave me a comment. And I'll see you in the next video.